Hey, this is David Goldenberg. I'm with Ravi Bansal from Catapult Verse, and we've got a very interesting episode on sponsored brands and Amazon advertising. So if you're a seller, you'll want to tune in to see what Ravi's doing in terms of combining reports, what amount of data and which data is necessary in order to make a decision on how you optimize your keyword. Do you increase a bid, decrease a bid, pause the keyword, add more of those kinds of keywords, right? Is it dependent on your clicks, dependent on how much spend you've made? What if you meet one threshold but not the other? We discuss these topics and more. So if you're interested in this, stay tuned. And you might also want to add this channel to your subscriptions. Hit the subscribe button. What that does is YouTube then suggests my videos more in your feed or in your related videos. And likewise, if you hit like and if you leave a comment, then we'll know what you're looking to find out more about. And you can suggest topics for upcoming videos. So I look forward to seeing what you've got to share with us, and I hope this video is good for you. So if you like it, again, hit the subscribe button. And I'm David Goldberg from 011 Ads for Brands, the sponsored brands experts. Take care. See you in a minute. Hey, this is David Goldenberg. I'm joined with Ravi Bansal from Catapult Verse. Ravi, welcome.
Hi, Gabriel. So nice to see you. I was looking forward to our discussion.
For sure. So tell people a bit about your experience. You've been doing this for about 17 years, I think you shared.
Yes. I've been working for 17 years now. I have worked for platforms and with platforms. I've worked for Walmart, for Amazon in India, the one of the biggest platforms,
Sure.
Flipkart. These are the three major platforms I've worked for. I've worked for brands, Fortune 500 companies, as well as startups. And the struggles have been very, very different in both the types of organizations. I've worked for an agency and I've been doing consulting for a lot of brands and sellers in US and India and in some of the Gulf countries. I help them with overall online sales, D2C marketplace, even help them hire their team if
Wow.
they want. And I also take them to aggregators, global
Sure.
aggregators, if anybody is interested in getting themselves
Okay.
acquired.
That's excellent. So we spoke on LinkedIn, and before the show, we talked a bit more about your experience and some of the more advanced things that you're doing. One of them that I think both myself and people watching the show will be interested to hear about is what you're doing with custom reports, because the reports Amazon gives you by default can be helpful to a degree, but if you're learning the same things that your competitors are learning, it's hard for you to beat them and to find an edge. And you've said that you've created some very interesting custom reports that answer questions you can't just answer by using the reports as they are by default. I'd love if you could elaborate a bit on some of the things you're doing around that, preferably with sponsored brands.
Definitely. Um, a lot of sellers keep saying Amazon is very complicated, right? And so goes with the report as well. There are 24 reports in total in the back end, and each one is giving different information, right? It confuses the brands and the sellers all the more. Now, it's very, very important to simplify those kind of reports. Either you do it yourself or you seek help of some professional, right? So what I have done is I download all the reports, I automate them. There's a way we can automate, right? And then all the reports go into one single database. And then I use Google Studio to customize those reports and dashboards for a combined view. So, like for example, if we look at uh, I have a keyword report in sponsored product. I have a keyword report in sponsored brand, and I have a keyword report in sponsored video. Right? I have different reports: the search term report and the keyword report. Every brand is using the same keyword to bid for a sponsored product and a sponsored brand as well, right? We tend to look at these reports separately, but we need to have a single dashboard which actually shows that if a keyword X is having a 10% ACOS on sponsored product, what's the ACOS it's giving me on a
Mm,
sponsored brand,
yeah.
right? If I have you can't keep switching reports, that you will download one report and then you will download the other one and then look for that
Yeah,
particular
it's too
keyword,
time consuming.
right? I make an XYZ x-axis and a y-axis, where on x-axis I have keywords, on the y-axis I have campaign types, right? I want to see that how these keywords are performing in campaign 1 versus campaign 2 versus campaign 3, right? I would also want to see, now we have a daily report and a summary report. A summary report will not give you trend,
That's right.
but a daily report
That's
will
right.
give you trend.
For those of you watching who don't know what the differences between summary and daily report that Ravi is referring to, within Amazon, when you export your data, you have the choice of either summary or daily. And that means if you choose summary, it'll combine all the data for one particular keyword, for example, from the whole time period that you're looking for, right? It summarizes, let's say, 30 days of data on the keyword, let's say, face masks, and it shows you what your impressions, clicks, spend, etc., sales were for face masks over those 30 days, and that'll be just one line in the report. If you do daily data for 30 days, so you'll have, let's say, January 1st, January 2nd, January 3rd, January 4th, etc., okay, each of them for face masks on that particular day. How many impressions, clicks, sales, etc. on January 1st? How many on January 2nd, and so on. And that's what Ravi's talking about, that you can see the trend with a daily report. But also, if you're just looking at that data, it can be a bit time consuming because, for the lower volume keywords, you're not going to have enough data on a daily basis to make much sense of what's going on. That's where summary is more helpful. Sorry, Ravi, go ahead.
Absolutely. And this is Gabriel, very, very helpful when we are looking at the budgets for each campaign.
Yeah.
Right. Now let's say we set a budget for a campaign $50 a day. And when we look at the summary report for 30 days, we see that this particular campaign has consumed let's say a $2,000 budget for an entire month, right? Now, if I divide 2,000 by 30, right, it will come somewhere close to $30 a day, right, approximately. But when we look at the daily report,
it would
it's
be,
very,
I think
very,
it would
very
be
much possible.
I think it'd be more, because 50 times 30 would be $1,500 a day. Never mind.
So about
Suppose it came to $1,000 a day, so you're not using your whole budget. Okay.
Yes. So if my daily budget is $50, and in the entire month I have
1,000.
consumed $2,000.
No, but you couldn't consume 2,000 because that would be more than your daily budget.
In a year.
No, I understand, but in a month, $50 a day times 30 days gives you $1,500 total budget for the month.
Sorry.
$1,000. Okay.
You're right.
So you spent $1,000 instead of 15.
Spend $1,000 for the entire month, right? Now this $1,000, I don't know whether I consume the entire $50 in a single day, or on an average I was consuming only $30, right? For me to know this information, I need to look at the daily report and not the summary report.
Exactly.
Now, it's highly possible that, out of 30 days, there were 10 days I was able to utilize the entire $50. But the rest 20 days, I was able to utilize only $20 or $30 on an average for the rest of the 20 days. Now, if I look at the daily report, I can see the trend. Is it like, am I spending a lot on Saturdays, Sundays? Is that the trend? Or am I, is it Tuesdays and Wednesday I'm spending a lot? So basis that, I can actually look at my budgets and see that, on Saturdays and Sundays, instead of 50, let me spend 100, right? Because Amazon report does not give us a time interval. When you look back, you would not understand whether my budget was exhausted by afternoon or it went on till night, right?
Good point.
So the reports are complicated, and you need to look at the daily report and summary report. You need to combine sponsored product and sponsored brands and see, how specific keywords are performing, or how, the ASINs which I'm targeting, how are they working for me on a sponsored product versus a sponsored brand. Hence, I use this x-axis and y-axis, and then I combine reports. I create dashboards for daily
Mm,
trends for at an ASIN level, at a budget level, at a
right.
keyword level, at an ASIN level, and see how things are performing. There are times, and very very specifically when you look at auto
Yes.
campaigns for search terms, right? There these reports become very important because you cannot make a call which keyword to reduce bidding or stop bidding or move them to manual campaigns if you don't look at the
Right.
trend. So there, these customized reports help me a lot in figuring out, what I need to focus on and why I need to
So
focus on.
what kind of trends would you be looking for in your reports in order to see that?
So, for example, let's say if I talk about keywords, right? And let's assume that my conversion rate is 10%, just for an easier calculation, and my ACOS is 20. My ACOS is also 10%, right? So, which means every 10 clicks is bringing me or should bring me a
Okay.
sale,
Yeah.
right? Now, there are keywords where you will have a $1 CPC, or you will have a 50-cent CPC,
Yeah.
right? Now, if let's say my product is $20 and my ACOS is 10%, so every $2 should
Right.
bring me a sale, right? Now, what we look at is that if 10 clicks are supposed to give you a sale at a cost of $5, for example, and that calculates to 10% of your ACOS, right? So I'm repeating again, 10 clicks is giving you a sale at a $5 cost, right? Uh, which would ideally mean that your CPC is 50
Right.
cents, right? Now, what if there is a situation wherein this keyword has already crossed a 15 clicks mark, but has still not touched a $5 mark?
Interesting question.
Would you want to use the bidding, or would you want to, let it continue till $5 is
Uh-huh.
exhausted, right? Or vice versa, that uh, it's exhausted only 8 clicks, but it has crossed your $5 mark to capture
Mm,
the ACOS. Would you want to pause it, or would you want to continue and let it go till 10
good
clicks,
question.
right? So these kind of trends is basically, these reports help in figuring out, is it the right time to optimize
Mm,
keyword, or should I wait
mm.
further? Uh, that's I feel is a very very critical. I mean, creating campaigns is easy, optimizing campaigns is easy, but until and unless we understand when to optimize and how frequently to optimize, the optimization will never be the right thing.
Interesting. So we had this question come up, right? How many clicks or how much spend until you optimize? And we've in the past used automated rules for both based on reaching a threshold of spend or a threshold of clicks. And it's interesting because based on Jewish tradition, there's things in the Talmud about how 40 is a measure of completeness. So we said, you know what, if our conversion rate average is about 10%, that means after 40 clicks, we should have about 4 conversions. And so if we have 0 at that point, I mean, to be more precise, the Talmud talks about how 3 is a trend, and that is a pattern, and 2 is a debate whether or not that's a pattern. So we said, let's be slightly more cautious. We'll go for 4 conversions instead of 3, right? And then it's definitely should be a pattern. If there's 0, so that's good reason to pause the keyword. So if your conversion rate on average is 10%, how many clicks do you need to figure out whether or not to pause a keyword? 40 clicks. So that was a basis for us to work on initially. And what's interesting is that after we were using this for a while, later we brought the question basically to a couple math PhDs and basically asked them how many clicks until you can tell that this campaign or this keyword is not going to work. And they told us 35 clicks if your conversion rate is 10%. So it was quite interesting to hear that, that response. And
Unfortunately, so sorry to interrupt, but unfortunately, what I've seen, usually maths not working in
All right,
AMS,
go on.
because my competitors and we are both working on the same keywords most of the
Mm,
times, right? Uh, if they are having a sale or if they are running some deals, they would start bidding higher on the same keywords, and my CPC
okay,
shoots up, right? So you cannot control your A costs on a daily
okay.
basis, right? One day your A cost is going to be 10%, the other day it will drop to 8%, and the
Might
third
be
day,
18%.
or you start with 10% and then move to 9 and then 8 and 8.5, and then fourth day suddenly you shoot up
Sure.
to 11%, and you have no clue
Right.
why that happened. So it's a little difficult. We need, and the worst part is if you're downloading reports, Amazon does not give you 3 months old
Yeah.
data, more than 3 months old data, right? So you cannot sketch the trend more than 3 months. But if you're using your own database, you
That's
keep
right.
adding data, and you can go for. If you look at the AI tools like PackView and Metrics, um, they are actually doing similar stuff. They give you data till
Right.
365 days.
All right. So let's talk a bit more about sponsored brands. Um, we were talking before we started recording the show about how sponsored brand video, is a really advantageous ad unit because you have 45 seconds to tell your story and it takes up so much of the page. Um, what are some unique tactics that you like to use around sponsored brand video?
Sure. So first thing, the sponsored video is my favorite type of ad Amazon has. This is the richest form of ad you could imagine on Amazon. Like we happen to discuss, videos convey better than an image. Right? You have limitations on every single image, be it A plus or be it carousel images, right? Uh, with video, you have 40 seconds with you. And the best part is the moment you scroll down to the page, to the place where the video ads are shown, the video starts playing automatically. So this saves bucks for people who are running video ads, right? Without even clicking on the ad, the customers get to know your
Mm,
product. Uh, it's so whatever you show on a sponsored product, you are able to show the same things on the sponsored video as well on the right hand side on your web browser, and below the
yep.
video ad on a mobile screen. But apart from that, you have this video of 45 second. You have 45 seconds to convince a customer that why he or she should buy your
Sure.
product. You can talk about features. You can use CGI, rich graphics. You can add your customer reviews if you have brand ambassadors, but most importantly, talk about why the customer should buy this
Okay.
product. Right? If you are not able to convince a customer in 45 seconds why he or she should buy your product, no other ad form
So
will
what
do
do you
that.
like to open a video with?
I didn't
What
get
what do
you.
you like to start a video with in the first few seconds? What do you like to focus on?
Okay, great question. So we all know, human attention span is like 8 seconds. And even if we look at, YouTube video ads, the skippable ads, like for 5 seconds you play it and then, you let it, after 5 seconds you
Right.
can skip it. So the first 5 seconds or 8 seconds is what will make a customer decide whether he or she wants to watch the
Hmm.
entire video or just
That's
scroll
right. That's why
down,
it's so important.
right?
So what do you like to focus on in those first few seconds?
So my idea here is, since there are 45 seconds, right, and when you look at a lot of stories or YouTube videos or influencers or web series, uh, they start with a 5 second, 10-second trailer, which makes the customer, what you can expect or anticipate in the entire video. And then after 5 seconds is what the video
Uh,
starts. So this is one of the strategies what you can apply, that you
Interesting.
start with first 5 to 8. first 5 to 8 seconds talking about 3, 4 things within the video what customer can
Okay.
expect that would make customers think that they know what they will see in the next 45 seconds. Second strategy, what you can do is, and this is what I keep suggesting a lot of other brands as well. If you are spending time in knowing your customers, your consumer behavior, what people are writing in reviews, or generally how people shop and behave. If you look at your bestseller rank category pages and see what your competitors are talking about, what are your top 2, top 3 USPs, which will which will help a customer in buying decision. Start with that.
Start with a top unique selling proposition right in the first few seconds.
Absolutely. Or if you have a brand ambassador, a very known face, start with the brand ambassadors. So what typically these 3 things is what will keep the customer hooked to your video and would make them want to know more what's the offering. Because they have searched for a specific keyword and they landed up on your ad, or now video ads are seen on product pages as well. So if a customer is seeing your video ad, that customer is already in the bottom funnel.
Yeah, exactly.
He wants to buy that particular category, be it your brand or somebody else's, right? Give them reasons that, we are the right product, we are the right brand. And the video should be rich. I've seen a lot of brands, they don't want to spend much on this video. But there are multiple players. You can get a really nice video done for $500, and it's an asset for the organization.
Yeah, exactly. You can put it in your content as well as part of your enhanced brand content, so you can get multiple wins from that. If we go back a little bit to the report side. You were sharing with me before we started even something interesting about sponsored products, about combining the advertised ASIN report and the purchased ASIN report, if I understood that properly. Can you elaborate for the audience, what question you're trying to answer by combining those two?
Sure. So what happens is on Amazon, like we all know, if I'm advertising ASIN X, the customer need not buy that very same product, right? Now, we have a conversion rate of, let's say, for example, 5% for the category, right? So 95% of the people are not buying the products which are being advertised, right? It could be 10%. Let's take 10%, right? Let's take 15% as conversion rate. Still, 85% of the people are not buying your products or the products which are advertised. Right? Now, either they are buying a competitor product or they are buying another product from your same brand, or they are not buying anything at all, right? So Amazon gives us report in terms of if you advertise ASIN X, and if did the customer buy the same product, or did the customer buy any other product from your own brand? So there is this purchased ASIN report, which we have on the sponsored product. Now, I have noticed multiple times that, let's say the brand has been advertising ASIN X, but it's ASIN Y which has been selling more through the ASIN X ad, right? So why not start advertising ASIN Y as well?
Exactly. That gives you new ideas.
People are. Another thing what I look at is I see what ASINs are being purchased more by customers, right? And if those ASINs are similar ASINs, right, I use a comparison module in the A+ module. I use the comparison module. All those advertised ASINs, I'll put them there. So I can save some dollars there and make customers more organically.
So for those of you who may not be familiar with, the comparison module in A+ content, also called EBC or Enhanced Brand Content, is where you add additional photos and text beyond the standard 9 bullets and 9 photos and 5 bullets. And you can sort of tell your story in a more graphic rich way, and you customize your own layout. And Amazon gives you these pre-built templates about how the content can be laid out. And one of the modules for those templates is the comparison table. So you have different columns, each representing one product, and each row is a particular feature. So you fill in the data for what that spec corresponds to in that product. Is it, for example, this many watts of power, or this color, the other color, etc., the size. And so if you're seeing that, as Ravi's saying, you advertise product X and you sell product Y, so instead of having to get that sale from second click on sponsored products related to this item or sponsored brands, whatever, you can have that in your own content right there and link to the product Y that is being purchased from product X's ads, and increase your sales in that way as well. I think that's a clever way to choose what to cross promote. Very nice.
I've seen, where the products have been having a conversion rate of 10% just by adding the comparison table, and you can have up to 6 products advertised there for free. The conversion rates have gone as high as 40%.
Oh, very nice. Wow.
40% jump
That's
in conversion
significant.
rate without
From adding the
cost.
comparison table, you're seeing such a big improvement. Wow.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's very useful to know.
One of the very important things, like I said earlier as well, when a customer is on the product, Amazon does not have a lot of inventory to advertise products. Right? They have search pages and they have detail pages. That's the only 2 places they can advertise, right? Search page is limited. Amazon keeps saying that, you kill someone and hide them in the second page of Amazon, nobody's going to find out, right? So it's the product pages which actually garners the maximum impression in the entire AMS, right? And that is where the most of the clutter is. I spend money in organic search rank and PPC to get customers to my product page, and there are more than 1,000 products already advertised on a product page. So the customer decided to click on my ad and come to my product page. But you have items similar to this, and
brands related to this item, videos, sponsored display,
those kind of stuff, and display ad and video ad and brand ad. It's filled with ads. So what's happening is, once a customer reaches your product page, one of the strategies is, how do I convince my customer to buy the product, right? But if you do not have a strategy of how do I keep my customer from getting distracted from other ads, you will still end up losing the customer. And one of the strategies for that is that try to maximize and own the inventory, the space on the product page as much as you can, organically or by paid means. So have posts, videos, you can go up to 7 modules if you are on Seller Central, including the brand module. Have a lot of reviews, try to get videos and images and reviews. So you keep adding more and more content from your brand on a product page, and thus reducing the percentage of the distractions.
For sure. Ravi, if people want to find out more about yourself and Katapult Verse and your services, where can they go to do that?
Sure. So we have a LinkedIn page. We have a website, Katapult.
That's Katapult with a K, isn't it?
With a K, yes. K has been lucky for a lot of people. Even the homegrown website in India, the e-com portal, Flipkart, is with a K. Many people don't know, but Flipkart has been acquired by Walmart.
That's right. So they bought the biggest marketplace in India.
Amazon.
Yeah. So that's how's that going nowadays? Is Flip? Yeah. Are they winning are they beating Amazon in India?
I mean, so there are a lot of sale events, like Thanksgiving is in US. Here we have a sale which happens in October, November. That's the biggest sale. Plus we have an Independence Day sale and Prime sale. So about 4 sales a year. There are some sales where Amazon will exceed. There are some sales which Flipkart exceed. But the way, in Amazon, it's like Amazon, in the US, it's like Amazon is are doing far better than Walmart if we talk only about the online sales. Here in India, they are more like neck to
Wow,
neck.
that's remarkable.
Uh, so Flipkart has been in India before
That's right.
even Amazon came in. They have been here for more than
Wow.
a decade now, and Amazon has completed about just
Okay.
8 years. But Amazon is
Yes.
Amazon. Wherever they go, they will be the leader,
Okay.
no doubt
Very
about
cool.
it.
So, guys, check out Ravi and Catapult Verse, like universe, but verse, catapultverse.com. And if you like this video, please make sure you subscribe so that you can get more of these insights into advanced advertising, particularly around sponsored brands, for these videos to be suggested to you by YouTube's algorithm in your home feed, related videos, all that. So hit the red button below. If you have a question, comment, we'd love to hear that as well. Likes, etc. That's all very welcome. So please stay tuned for more insights into your Amazon ads and particularly sponsored brands. And look forward to speaking with you soon. Take care.